I am on a mission to transform the 406mm telescope at the Rice Creek Field Station Observatory into a state-of-the-art research facility. This is my story.
Previously on Objective 406, we found the problem with the Meat 16 mistaking its head for its tail, and the problem proved to be the difference between the home position and the park position. So when we turn on the telescope, we go to align, and I choose one star, which is the simplest, and I ignore everything that the telescope tells me to do. Whatever it says, I say yes. When it says pointed to the home position, I say done, yes. When it says it's slowing to one star, is the star centered, I say yes. And when it's done with its alignment, I just park the scope, regardless what it is pointing at. Once the scope is parked, I climb up the ladder and adjust both the RA lock and the declination lock so it is pointed to the park position. And from there, I turn the scope back on. At this point, it asks for GPS alignment. Press any key on the auto star and it skips the GPS. And then we go to daylight savings. It was no last week, it'll be yes this week. Time, I enter the time. Date, I enter the date. It asks for the location, I give it the location. And then it goes to select item object. At this point, I go to the computer. I don't touch the handset anymore. Here I launch NINA, the Nighttime Imaging and Astronomy, and I go to Telescope. I select the POTH hub, and in the settings, I choose the scope as the Meade generic in this case. I connect to it. Success. Now I go to the dome, choose the dome. It is the ACE Smart Dome. OK. Connect to it. Success. The hub has connected to both, so I say OK. And then I go back to the telescope, we're still there, and I say connect. And we have success. The telescope is connected. Now we go to the dome. Connect to the dome. Success also. The only remaining step now is dome follows scope. And that is today's big experiment. We say on. And we are done with setting up the scope and the dome. Now the big question is, with NINA connecting to the POTH, the plain old telescope hub handset, and then POTH in turn connecting to the ACE Smart Dome and the telescope, the question becomes, where does SharpCap and Starry Night fit? Do they connect also to the hub? Let's find out. I launch Starry Night. It says we are near Syracuse, close enough. I go up to View and Show Telescope Setup. Configure. And I select the POTH hub. There it is. And the system crashes. Starry Night application is not responding. So I guess connecting to the hub was not a good idea. Let's try then connecting directly Starry Night to the telescope and see if that works. We'll repeat the process, launch Starry Night again. Leave the shaders on. And once Starry Night launches, we repeat the process. View, telescope setup. This time, configure. We're going to connect it to the Meade generic. Okay. It has not crashed. Now we have to find the dialog box, which likes to hide itself. Now we need to minimize pretty much everything in order to find where that box, there it is. Connect. And it's taking its jolly time. Let's try to click on connect again. Okay. Telescope setup. Connect. There we go. We are connected. Now we can say OK. And let us see if it's going to slew to the targets, but more importantly, if it will sync to the dome and move the dome with the telescope. Okay, time to put the camera on the telescope now and see where that takes us. Okay. Now, if all goes as planned, when the telescope moves, the dome should move with it. Right now, they are both nicely aligned. Venus is right there, so I'm going to send it to Venus. Slew to Venus. The telescope is moving. And the dome follows. Okay, it seems to be doing fine. Let's take it back to the sun and see if it's going to follow it. Slew to the sun. The scope is moving. It got to the sun. And the dome is moving. I have to find out what settings I need to adjust for the dome to move with the scope and not wait for the scope to get to its destination and then follow it. But for now we seem to be doing okay. Wherever we send the scope, the dome follows. Let me try Mercury. Should be a very short move here, a very short trip from the Sun to Mercury. And they have moved together. So we can declare success with syncing the dome to the telescope. Yay! Done. Park the scope. And then when we park the scope, we can repeat the same thing next time round.